This is one of the few days that I actually contemplated not showing up.
Is it something I said?
No. You're one of the reasons I did. I had a flashback. There was a night in September 2002. I had been operating ProFootballTalk.com for some 10 months. And the whole thing that made me a very zealous and passionate fan of the National Football League was the fact that I grew up a fan of the Minnesota Vikings, that was the hook. It wasn't the Rob Lowe officiating hat with the NFL logo on it, and I'm just interested in all teams. True fan back in the day, and I would still submit to you a true fan now, and that concept has been bastardized and undermined by fantasy football and betting, and that'll be a topic today. If you're tuned in to hear us talk about that, we will. But back in the 70s, like, you got one team that you were passionate about, and the rest could go themselves. Hated them all. Love one, hate the rest. So that's what drew me into it. That's what kept me spending a hell of a lot of time looking for any information or analysis about the NFL that I could, and yada, yada, yada. And really, when I think about it, there's just as many years prior to the year 2000 as there are after the year 2000 that I've been following football so closely. But long story bearable. September 2002, the Vikings went to Seattle on a Sunday night and got the shit beat out of them. Sean Alexander, I think, scored 17 touchdowns that game. Somehow it was omitted from the official record book as the single game high watermark. And the next day, I quit PFT. I quit. I'm done. It's over. This thing's never going to be anything. I'm never going to make any money off of this. I got better things to do than waste my time covering this sport. I quit. I'm done. And I did. I quit PFT in 2002 on a Monday morning after that week 4, I think it was, Sunday night splattering in Seattle. And it took for like 24 hours. I don't know. Because the next day, got home from my law practice, and I was like, what's going on in the NFL? And I started reading some stuff, and it's like, well, hell, I may as well write that. And anyway, I feel that way now. It's back.
The Vikings have done this to you.
I can't remember how many times it's happened since that morning in 2002 when I decided to quit PFT, but it was spurred by an awful loss. And last night was awful. And once they screwed us on the Isaiah Rodgers interception, and I'm sorry, but the replay system's broken. Clear and obvious has gone out the window. They're officiating these plays from scratch. They're not using the clear and obvious standard. And I've been meaning to write that at PFT. And if I would have had more time with Troy Vincent yesterday, I would have talked to him about it. This is the play where the air came out of the balloon. Terry McCauley said it himself. There's not enough to overturn it. Clear and obvious. They aren't using the standard. And that was always the thing that Dean Blandino would harp on. Clear and obvious. It's the reason why they took the replay function to New York, because you had 17 different officials, and they all had a different interpretation. The referees had a different interpretation of what they should do with the ruling on the field. Sometimes they do clear and obvious, and sometimes they wouldn't. Anyway, that's when I knew it was done. When they, and I'm thinking, man, they screwed TJ Hawkinson last week. Can we balance this out? Is there some sort of karma in the universe as it relates to officiating? Once that happened, it's like, it's done. It's done. It's done. And 37-10 was the final score. And good morning. I actually feel better. This is like a therapy session. You should send me a bill. You didn't even have to say anything.
No. This one's for free. I'm going to let you just. This is good to get this out. It's helpful to you. It's helpful to me. It's helpful to the audience. Everybody enjoys this processing that you're going through because you wanted to quit in 2002. I would imagine you hadn't started PFT. Yeah, see, in PFT,
I did in 2002. I merely want to this morning.
See, I would say, it's a different, and I'll bet if you talk to Vikings fans, if you talk to Paul Allen, who talks to a lot of Vikings fans too, everybody has their different moment. Like, oh, that was the moment I wanted to do it. I would guess in PFT, this is before it was born, I would guess it was the NFC Championship game against Sean Payton. He was an assistant coach on that team with the Giants when they went to New York. Randy Moss, Chris Carter, and just were destroyed in the conference championship game. It was, what was it, 41-0 or something?
Yes.
So bad.
Now, Michael, that was 2 years after the NFC Championship loss to the Falcons when the Vikings were 15-1 in Randy Moss's rookie year.
Oh,
and
that
actually,
one too.
That one hurt less. 41-0 hurt less because it was over. It wasn't 3.5 hours of agony. That's what the 98 NFC Championship was for me. It was agony. It was 20-7. Chuck Smith comes around the edge, strip sacks Randall Cunningham, and the Falcons get a cheap and quick touchdown. They earned it. I'm not saying that they didn't. 20-14 at the half. And I remember the entire halftime, my stomach was just like, I have Crohn's disease. Maybe that was the moment that it set in. My entire insides were just like twisting around. And it's like, can we just get this game over with? So that was agony. So it was bad. I took a nap by halftime. I said, screw this. I turned it off and I took a nap.
I don't blame you. I mean, that was a tough one. Now, last night, I would say, hang around, Mike Florio and Vikings fans, hang around, because the cavalry's coming. I could even say last night, this may be extreme, but last night was a scheduled loss for the Vikings. Thursday Night Football, you're going to the Chargers, who are struggling, who are desperate for a win. And I know it's not much of a home field advantage for either Los Angeles team, but it's a short week. You've got Carson Wentz at quarterback. He's already hurt. He's banged up. And I just didn't like the matchup. I thought they would lose the game anyway. I didn't know they'd get beat down like they did last night, but I didn't think they had really much of a chance of winning that game. And next week, if it means anything, I don't know how you view Carson Wentz versus J.J. McCarthy, but it seems like J.J. McCarthy is on his way back, and Carson Wentz, mercifully, not just because of the injury, but because of the way he's been playing, will probably go back to the bench.
Well, in his first start, the Vikings won 48-10 over the Bengals. In what will be his last start, the Vikings lost 37-10. And I think it should be his last start. I think that if it doesn't work with J.J. McCarthy, they just need to see what Max Brosmer can do. No more Carson Wentz, not after last night. And I don't know how to process all the different images of Carson Wentz wincing and grimacing in pain because he kept playing. He would process the pain quickly. Like when you stub your toe, it hurts like hell for a little bit and then you're okay. He was constantly grabbing at the left arm. He was constantly expressing that just extreme distress, and then he'd be right back in the game. At some point, the coaching staff, I think, needed to take him out. But at some point, it's a little like the old Ben Roethlisberger dramatics. Like, is it real? Like, at some point, you just got to stop playing. If it's that bad, you just got to stop playing. Because once he's on the sideline, it's done. The pain was going away like that.
Yeah, it was really tough to watch, and I would think obviously they're not too high on Max Brosmer because if they had a little bit of confidence in him, just a little bit, he would have been in that game. That was just a bad job by Carson Wentz, and I guess he probably earned some credit in the locker room and with the coaching staff for playing through an injury, which I'm not going to minimize, but just watching it, it was difficult to just look at that and say, oh, that's decent, or they'll be able to piece something together and get a nice drive going. It just wasn't going to happen against the Chargers or any other competent NFL defense. Just really had no chance. And that pass we just showed, the overthrow to Justin Jefferson, the balloon ball that wound up being intercepted. I mean, that's just really a bailout throw. He was just trying to do whatever he could to escape trouble. So I would think last night, I know Kevin O'Connell, I don't know who Kevin McConnell is, but Kevin O'Connell can
Mitch's
prop
son.
up. Exactly. His cousin, his third cousin. We're the O'Connells over here, and those are the McConnells. And we had a big dispute about 50 years ago. And
they're probably another version of the Hatfields and McCoys in Kentucky.
That's right. But he can get anybody to play, any quarterback to play a good game for a game or two, and eventually it falls apart. Why not Max Brosmer last night? I'm serious. I think it would have been better than what we saw from Carson Wentz.
Yeah, at some point you just have to pull the plug. And at last night's game, there was multiple moments. It just needed to end. It needed to end. By the way, Gary informs me that the quote that was used by Jim Harbaugh is attributed to George S. Patton. So it shows you what I know about American military history. A good plan, violently executed now, is better than a perfect plan executed next week. I still don't like it. I don't care if it's attributed, pick a name of somebody that I should be in awe of. I'm still not going to say that's a great line. I don't think it's a great line. But anyway, that's just me. That's just me.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.